Okay, I'm back and it's Sunday evening. Professor McGonagall's helping us, and I'm working on her skirt. I've been working on it all day, and I'm working on the top edge, top stitching for the border to keep the elastic from flipping around inside and twisting while she wears it. So this stitch in embroidery, I also call it a back stitch. It's just a little different way to work it. I think it's formally called a saddle stitch. Here's the back of both stitches. The front is worked a little different, and on the back they look the same, although the stitches are just a tiny bit longer. Those are both the back stitch, or the saddle stitch on the top row. And to compare how the stitches look on the top from the front side, some of my stitches aren't evenly spaced. I'm a little tired today, but that's the difference. This is the stitch I did previously, and this stitch is the one I'm working today. They're spaced out a little bit more, but they're worked almost the same. So this one is worked before we were coming up halfway at the center point of the stitch. With this stitch, the saddle stitch, I use this embroidery like I said, and it's also used in leather making a lot. That's why this stitch is spaced out. It's usually worked in tougher, thicker materials. But this is how it's done. It's very easy. So here's where our last stitch ended. Or where's our last stitch? There's our last stitch. It's hard to see. So you only go halfway from where your thread comes out to where your stitch ends here. You go halfway in between, and you keep your stitches evenly in a row. And you're going to come a little farther out from the thread this time. Well, if I get my stitches straight. In the previous video, I was taking a lot smaller stitches closer together. And that's how you work it. Your needle still stays on the same side of the fabric. Trouble getting too many kids out here playing with me. It's fine. I'll work a couple more stitches so you can see how this one's done. Again, if this one's probably for reference when you look for it, if you want to learn how to do this one in leather making, it's called the saddle stitch. In embroidery though, it's just often referred to as a different form of working the back stitch, because the back of it always looks the same as a regular back stitch. See, I'm tired today. My stitches aren't straight and even, but that's how it's worked. They just don't overlap like they do in the other one. I'm probably going to take this little short row out. I just started this one not too far back and redo this little section. I'm particular. I don't like my stitches wonky. Not that it's really going to show by the time we put elastic in it, and it's gonna gather. So I could technically leave it, but it's gonna drive me insane if I leave it. But that's what they look like in comparison. A little bit different, but almost work the same. The stitches look a little better back towards this direction. I was paying a little closer attention to what I was doing. She wants to give it a go. Okay. Well, hi, Fessy. Yes. Alright. Pretty girl. She loves to sew. Okay.